Hello my friends and welcome, my name is Dennis and this is the latest update from Ukraine. Let's go to the front lines straight away. Firstly, to the Kharkiv area. The situation there is the standstill. However, if we go to the fire detection, you can see here and there are some shelling, mostly from the Russian side. Kharkiv is also under attack by Russian artillery. However, there are no fires, but many buildings were devastated. Russia uses their artillery daily for the city itself, my friends, targeting civilian objects. If we go to Izum here, well, everything more or less stands still. Ukrainian army, as you can see, firing towards the Russian controlled territory, but we got also fire back from Russian side. Second day we see that they are firing near to Kurulka and near to Ivanovka, Shnurki and Pashkova villages over here. Probably we have some of the troops around there. And probably you see that fire near to Davydov. Russia tried the attack southbound from Davydov village. Probably they want to take this small road over here on the way to Slaviansk, but were devastated by Ukrainian artillery fire. They lost 35 tanks. It is the greatest number so far of their losses per one attack of Ukrainian army. 35 tanks. Just imagine this number. From the information we got, there is some kind of hill, and they got the order to get the hill with their tanks, and they just drove there, and that hill was under the fire of Ukrainian artillery, so little by little every tank was destroyed. However, those tanks were not totally demolished. Some of them were, but most of them were taken by Ukrainian forces to serve for Ukrainian army. And let's go to this part. Radio Horodok was just one occasional fire. I'm sure it's not the artillery fire or something. However, here we have the artillery fire just near to Slaviansk. And from Slaviansk, let's move to the eastern part of Ukraine. Today it's more calm compared to yesterday. We have some sort of balance between the fire towards Ukrainian side and Russian control side, but still Ukraine was able to fire very far from the front lines. I just want to measure this distance, my friends. How many kilometers, let's say, from Bakhmut? 74, it's Himars for sure. According to the recent reports, we were able to target Russian ammunition depots and control centers near to Alchevsk, near to Donetsk here, and also in the south. Let me briefly change to Kherson Oblast. So today it was one more firing towards Chernobyevka. Chernobyevka, as you can see, it's the airport near to Kherson. Today it was devastated by Ukrainian artillery. Once again, it's the 26th time that our artillery was able to devastate Russian forces. So Russians, they have the order, they throw everything. Okay, we need to have the base in Chernobyevka. Let's move to Chernobyevka. Let's put our forces, let's put our ammunition there. And each time they just been destroyed there near to Kherson, not far away from the front lines, by the way. Why they are doing so, I don't know. 26 kilometers, really nothing. And near to Antonivka, there is the bridge, Antonovka bridge, the main bridge that should have been destroyed even before the war started, but why, we don't know. Probably we have some rats in our command. The bridge wasn't destroyed and Russian army went to Kherson city. However, we were able to destroy some of the Russian ammunition and probably their forces near to Antonovka. For the situation that we have, it's better not to destroy this bridge for now, because Russians already crossed it, so it's better to use it for the counterattack that we are planning very soon. I think in 1 or 2 months. The information that we have, that Ukrainian forces use M14 road to get closer to Kherson each day. Still, we are quite far away to use our groups, our soldiers, our forces, but enough to use our artillery systems. And it was the announcement from our command for the civilians to leave that place, leave Kherson, leave everything here for good. I don't know, maybe go to Russian-controlled territories, maybe through Crimea to Russia, because otherwise you can just lose your life. Then our troops will go into their massive counterattack on the way to Kherson. Obviously, it's better to go to Ukrainian territory, but sometimes Russia just block the way out for civilians. From the fire detection, I can see that today is more calm day for Russia. What I see that we were able to destroy their ammunition behind the front lines, so they are unable to put reinforcements very fast and also extra ammunition to their artillery. That is why they can't advance as it was before. They can't provide the attacks as it was before. Still quite a lot shelling on the eastern part of the front lines, but my friends, I do not expect that Russia would dare to attack massively in nearby days. However, we see some of the scenarios that they are trying to attack. You see here they are trying to attack. They tried to attack near to Vladimir just recently, but unsuccessfully. It is very strange for me because they are really exhausted after they took Lysychansk. Over here they need this some kind of break period to regroup their forces, to get reinforcements, but they decided not to wait. But now they have to, because they are in lack of ammunitions, because the Himars and M777 systems, they are awesome, they are working fine. We're still in lack of those, but it was a promise from United States to give us more Himarses, and totally I think next week or in 2 weeks we're gonna have 12 of Himarses. For now we have just I think 4 of them. Also for now there were just some kind of speculations about the long-range missiles. It was published in some of the medias that United States agreed to send to Ukraine themselves with the range up to 300 kilometers. With that we can reach Crimean Kerch Bridge over here obviously, and Sevastopol, my hometown city, also, but Russia has the major base in that bay, my friends. Very hard to reach that place even with rockets because it's surrounded by some of the hills, but I think Himarses may do that stuff, and for now we're just waiting for official information for the confirmation of those ballistic missiles to be delivered to Ukraine. Obviously it's the classified information, and I think that public may know a little bit later than those rockets would be delivered to Ukrainian army, to the front lines to fight for our freedom, and not only our freedom, yours, my friends, if you share the values of democracy and free people, really. Yeah, it's hard to say whether they are totally free country in the world. We have some of the restrictions. Obviously, there are no ideal country, no ideal system, even democracy, but try to live in Russia, my friends. We don't want to live in Russia. That is why we are fighting for our freedom, and that is why we need help from the civilized countries, from the mostly Western countries, to help us to fight for that values, my friends. And now let's go to some of the news and events. Alright, we have British-made FV-103 Spartan armored vehicles delivered to the front lines, so those pictures were taken near to Bakhmut on the eastern part of Ukraine. As you can see, those are small vehicles with thin armor, no turret, nothing, just maybe some of the traps to capture the incoming rockets, but in general it's good. Thank you, UK. Maybe here we have some sort of the turret. I don't know. Czech Republic gave Mi-24 helicopters to Ukraine. You can see lots of Ukrainian flag painted on those helicopters, because basically the original paint, I think, Czech, from the Czech Air Force. So we want just to paint 2 of the strips. If you see that some kind of the videos on YouTube, if you see those 2 stripes on the tail of the helicopters, those helicopters are Ukrainian, and obviously here with the Ukrainian flag it's very easy to identify. I can see one more in the background, so probably we received at least 2 of them. It's awesome. Okay, this is the Russian advertisement coming actually from my home city Sevastopol, from one of the Telegram groups there, and they are hiring a military personnel to join the Russian army between 18 and 50 years old. You'll have all the social benefits, you'll have high salary. Just call us and we'll send you to die in Ukraine. Those circles are showing the possible radiuses of the Himars artillery system equipped with ballistic rocket with a range up to 300 kilometers. Well, Sevastopol within range and Kerch Bridge almost reachable, I would say. Sometimes you may find the videos on YouTube how our forces drop the bombs from drones, and this is how it goes. So you need to float in the air, you put in the mine to the drone, and after it you have this camera pointed downwards, and it's it. The drone is DJI Matrix 300 RTK. However, for now DJI stopped sales in Ukraine and Russia, obviously because their drones may have been used for the war purposes. And this is the fire towards Chernobyevka, I told you before, in Kherson Oblast, the airport part, and it was a huge fire from Ukrainian side to that military base of Russia. It was totally destroyed, as you can see. I think we used the powerful artillery for that. It's not far away from the front line, so I think usual barrel type of artillery may have been used in that case. The Study of War research team, actually those guys are from United States, they say that Russia is preparing for one more big attack on the eastern part of Ukraine. This time Slavyansk and Kramatorsk are under the threat of being attacked by Russians, but obviously, as we see now, Russia is in lack of supply lines, communications, but they prepared 85,000 soldiers more on Russian-controlled territory. They will be soon ready to send them to the eastern part of Ukraine. And obviously that reinforcement may play the bad role for Ukrainian part in this war, but obviously we also managed to put defense lines near to Slavyansk and Kramatorsk, and big battle for that awaits us in the future, my friends. I think in nearby future, like 2 or 3 weeks. Russia sends more forces to Belarus. They are near to the border with Chernihiv Oblast on the north part of Ukraine, and could they try the second attempt in getting Kiev under their control? I think it's the suicide mission for Russia, because there is no way they could get Kiev with the forces they have. To some of the international news, this is Sri Lanka. Sri Lankan people got many of the government buildings under their control, including the President Palace. And President, we have some rumors that President evacuated from the country using the air transport. He was flying away from the Sri Lankan airport. And people are happy. Yeah, why not? Maybe something changed for their country. I honestly do expect the same move from Russians. Yeah, Sri Lanka Prime Minister house set on fire. Not good news. If you fire up the buildings, it's bad behavior from the protesters. Bad. And this is Japan. People are taking flowers to honor the memory of Shinzo Abe, the ex-prime minister of Japan, who was killed in assassination just yesterday. And we have the report, and actually I saw the video from the different perspective angle. It is not available, I think, on YouTube, because it contains some kind of violence scenes. YouTube doesn't like it. But what I saw, and it is confirmed by Japan police, that so Japan police said Shinzo Abe security was flawed. Yes, so actually the shooter shot for the first time. He didn't aim Shinzo Abe, but it was the gap between the first shot and the second shot for, I think, few seconds, and after that he fired the second time. So before the first shot and second, no one did anything, my friends. Security was just staying there, people were just staying there until Shinzo Abe got the shot. He was standing himself, he was surprised. What was that loud bang with lots of smoke? Actually, I was able to see that on a video. Sorry, I cannot share it on YouTube, but very, very stupid behavior from the security of Shinzo Abe. They should have been trained much better for this level, obviously, my friends. And I'm amateur, I'm not a military guy, but even I see that it was a very bad job from the security. And here I want to raise one more question. I expect lots of the comments about this one. Controversial, the gun control. I think in Japan it's more difficult to get firearms compared to United States of America, but still the suspect was able to make his own gun. So was it the issue with the gun control then? I think it wasn't. And speaking about United States, I think there were no attempts in killing country leaders or ex-country leaders for a few decades. So I think it's not about the guns, I think it's about mentality of particular people who just gone crazy, killing everybody. This time it was Shinzo Abe, unfortunately. And I personally think that United States security services are much better prepared compared to, let's say, Japanese. Sorry, Japanese guys, but you have much less criminal level compared to other countries. There are lots of guns in the United States, so security services need to await for possible attack, so they are prepared for everything. That is why they are better trained. Here security was just staying, staring, doing their usual casual job until Shinzo Abe got his fatal shot. And this is China, my friends. Some kind of their local club, they celebrate the death of the ex-prime minister of Japan with music, songs and whatever. Well, I think if you celebrate that stuff, the death of some kind of person, probably, not probably, but 100% you go to hell. I'm not a religious person, and I know the history between China and Japan, especially the Second World War. I know that many of those people still hate each other, but we live in the 21st century, my friends. It is nonsense to celebrate something like that. That really shows the lack in culture. And yeah, maybe I'm just anime fan, etc. I like Japan, but it's just disgusting. It's dirty. It shouldn't be like that, my friends. And I got some of the comments about the Iron Dome that is used mostly to protect Israeli cities. Well, actually it's out of use for Ukrainian realities, because mainly we have the huge ballistic rockets or rocket artillery systems that cannot be intercepted by the Iron Dome. Iron Dome is used to intercept the self-made rockets that Hamas is usually built in their garages. So yes, for the self-made occasional rockets it's okay, but for us we need the sophisticated anti-aircraft and anti-rocket systems like NASAMS or others. My friends, now press the like if you like this video, press dislike if you don't, and there are some of the links in the video description how you can support my channel. If you do support my channel, my friends, you are awesome. Many thanks for your kind support. I wish you a peaceful sky wherever you are. Have a great time.